Hi and welcome to my video. Today's video is going to be another update for my Pandit palette 2024. This year I am panning Colourpop's Going Coconuts and I have quite an exciting update. So last time I set a goal to use up the middle shimmer Franken shade, and here is what this palette is looking like right now. As you can tell, the middle shade is empty, so I managed to hit my goal. I am actually so happy and so proud. Now I can Franken something new into that empty pan. Let's go through how many times I used each shade over the last month. I'm gonna pop up two pictures on the screen. One is gonna be of what this palette looked like in the introduction, and the second one is gonna be what the palette looked like in the last update. So the first shade here, called Shredded, is actually a Franken made out of Shelia and Coulada. And as you can maybe tell, there is a baby pan in this shade. This came out of nowhere. I wasn't planning on hitting pan on it at all, and I wasn't expecting pan so early. Since the last update, I had used this shade 5 times. Altogether in this project, I have used it 7 times. So only 7 times, and I already hit pan on it. It is quite shallow, and I knew it was shallow when I pressed it into here, but I really did not expect to hit pan on it so soon. I did Franken it like right after July's update, I think. Yeah, so basically like 2 updates ago, kind of. The first time I ever showed this Franken was in the August update. So this is the second update. You're seeing this shade and it already has pan on it. That's crazy. I absolutely love this shade. I do think that it's gonna get my like full attention in like October or November or something like that. The next shade, called Palm Reader, I have only used 3 times since the last update. Altogether in this project 106 times. This one I use only in my inner corner, but I have just been focusing on other things in my inner corner, and therefore this has not gotten that many uses as it usually does. It usually gets around like 15 uses, I'm pretty sure, but this time only 3. But it's fine because I'm not going to use that shade up anyways before the end of the year. The next shade over here, called Coulada, I have only used once. Altogether in this project 47 times. I set a goal in the last update that I wanted to use every shade at least once. That is why I used it. If I didn't set that goal, I wouldn't have used it at all. It is very cool toned and not something that I want to reach for in August and September right now. And this one is going to be a focus in October, November, December, as well as the first shade that I showed you. First shade in the middle row, we have Lovely Bunch. This one has had a pan on it for quite a few updates now. I managed to use this time 2 times since the last update. Maybe the pan has expanded, maybe not. I am really not sure. I don't think so because I only used it 2 times. This one I am not really using anymore that much because it already has pan on it, and yeah, I'm focusing on Shelia at the moment more than Lovely Bunch. Anyway, let's not skip over this shade. That is the biggest accomplishment for this update. It is a shade called Cocoa Crush, or at least it was in the beginning of this project. Then I Frankened a shade into here that consisted of Palm Reader and the Cocoa. It was a nice mid-toned shimmer for all over the lid. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And then I managed to use it up. Actually, I already set the goal to use it up for the previous update, but then I didn't manage to do that. But then I set the goal again for this update and I did it. I used it 16 more times. Altogether in this project, I used it 50 times. At least the Franken shade I used 50 times. I already have a plan what I want to Franken in this empty pan now. It is gonna be basically the same thing but a little bit different. I want to Franken together Palm Reader, the Cocoa, and a little bit of Shelia into it as well to make it more warm toned and like redder, pinker, something like that, so that it would go better with Shelia, because right now I'm trying to hit pan on Shelia and this middle shade really helped, but I think if I add a little bit of Shelia into it, then they're gonna go together even better. Speaking of Shelia, in the last update I set a goal to use it 10 times and I did actually use it exactly 10 times. Altogether in this project I have used Shelia 47 times. I really liked using Shelia, this Franken called Cocoa Crush, and the Cocoa altogether. This one in the crease, this one on the inner side of the lid, and this one on the outer section of the lid. and that is why I set the goal to use it 10 times. I don't normally like to pan looks, but this look I absolutely adored and I just couldn't get enough of it. So that is basically the look that I panned for the past like 2 months. Every day that I went to work, I did that look or something similar to that look. But when I had my days off and I was going like out or something like that, then I did something different. But every work look was basically the same. It has a dip going in it. It also looks scraped because I frankened it into this shade, but it has a dip in the middle as well. It's not close to pan at all, but I really do hope that I can hit pan on it by the end of October maybe, or maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do with it in October, because I really would like to start using some cool tones in October already. But if I don't have pan on it, then maybe I'll use it in October. Maybe I'll go back around to it in December. We'll see what happens. I am not quite sure. But for September, I'm gonna keep working on it, and I'm gonna franken it into the empty pan as well, so that I can have a shimmer that goes very well with it. But yeah, then use on that one and a gold hit. First shade in the last row is called Cracken. This one I used only once. That is again because I set the goal to use every shade once, and there's nothing really more to say about this shade. It is a matte with some glitters in it. I don't necessarily love it, but it's not too bad. I have used this in this project 28 times, which is the least amount of times that I have used any of the original shadows. None Frankens, basically. I want to get some use out of it in like November and October as well. So that is a lot of shades that I want to get more use out of in those fall months. Next shade is called the Cocoa. I have mentioned it a couple of times already in this update. This shade was one of my focuses as well. I set a goal in the last update to use this one 10 times, and I actually used it 12 times. And as you can see, there is a baby pan in this one as well, right in the middle. I think I did actually hit that pan on the 12th use. When I was using it for like the 9th and 10th time, I could see that I was so close to pan, and I just used it a few more times and the pan is here now. I'm gonna keep using it though for September, because I do really think that these three shades go so well together and I really enjoy that look. And the last shade in this palette is called Nauy. Down here it is a dark matte brown. I have used this shade as well only once because I set that goal, and altogether in this project 38 times. Nauy is a shade that I like to use for deepening the outer corner and also for a liner. But right now I'm trying to hit pan on a black matte eyeshadow in my graveyard project pan. So this one has kind of been like left untouched. Because of that black, I use the black as a liner mostly, so Nauy doesn't get that much uses on it as I would like it to get. But as soon as I hit pan on that black, I'm gonna go straight back to using Nauy again. And also there is a shade in my Project 10 uses that I use as a liner, which is also like not getting touched at all right now. So I have like way too many eyeshadows that I use as liners right now. So I already know for the next update that I probably won't be using that much Nauy because of the black eyeshadow. I won't be using that much of Palm Reader because I'm trying to hit pan on another inner corner shade right now. Also won't be using that much of Lovely Bunch because it already has a pan on it and I'm really not focusing on it anymore. And Cool Lara as well because it is so cool toned. But I do think that I should maybe expand the pan a little bit on the shade called Shredded and expand the pan also on the Cocoa. So maybe I will set a goal to use both of those shades 5 times. So 5 times Shredded and 5 times the Cocoa. Also, I want to get more uses out of Shelia. So I'm going to set a goal to use this one 10 times again. And I also want to make a Franken in the middle. So that's going to be a goal as well. An easy goal. Yeah, I think that's gonna be those goals for the next update. I could potentially hit pan on Cool Lara because it is so shallow, but I don't think it would be smart of me to focus on a cool tone shade yet. Also, there's like no way I can hit pan on any other shades or use up any other shades, so it's gonna have to be usage goals. And also, of course, I want to use every shadow at least once. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing as well. Thank you so much and bye bye!